This silly bitch doesn't know that I've changed Gehenna's golden hounds. Travel in one direction, my hounds.
The story of my life, I'll take her home. I'll drive all night
Haha, the noobs brought dwarves. Time to whoop ass with demigryph knights, I guess.
2,000 years later.
What's up, guys? Blade Master here, going to be bringing you a Total War Warhammer online rappel in Blade Balance mod. This is one that hopefully isn't too desynced, and I've taken the Empire here, fighting against Cervello, who's taken the Dwarves. Fighting in Karak Angor, I believe is the name of the map. I brought one unit of chicken cats, an Empire Knight, to form my cavalry, two units of chicken cats without halberds to form my cavalry contingent with an Empire Knights. 3 Thunderers. I'm using the thicker smoke mod as well to showcase these guys in much more beautiful detail. Balthazar Gelt on a tiny Pegasus, and 3 swordsmen behind them, 3 great swords, and that's going to be it. On the other hand, the dwarves brought by Cervello have brought Gyrocopter there, as we can see, a single grudge thrower and a great cannon. 4 or 5 dwarf warriors with great weapons going to be forming up his main line. He's got a couple of longbeards and a solitary Ironbreaker with a solitary Slayer as well, and a Thunder with I forget his name. It's not Ungrim Iron Fist. It's Thorgrim Grudgebearer. That's his name. Gyrocopters here taking damage from my Thunderers. I'm going to drop this in slow motion as I try and showcase to you guys what's going to happen. The Great Cannons going to be bombarding my Great Swords. I believe that's what they're targeting. Using my solitary unit of Empire Knights to charge into the Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. Let's take a closer look actually what he's got. 5 Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, a couple of Quarrelers, solitary miner with blasting charges, no, 2 miners with blasting charges on the flanks, smart move. Ironbreakers and Thunder is all the way at the back. Actually, looks like he's got 3 Quarrelers, in fact. Now, I'm going to be using my Empire Knights to charge into the Dwarf Warriors with great weapons on the flank, then pull away with them, bring my Swordsmen to charge into the Dwarf Warriors with great weapons in the center. Balthazar going to be moving onto the side, and I'll showcase to you guys why in a second. The Lore of Metal has been buffed. The Plague of Rust now has a small area of effect. Effect has a small area of effect for about 30 meters. The upgraded one has like 60 meter area of effect, and it deals minus 30 armor, so it could be pretty potentially strong in getting rid of the armor of a lot of units, especially high armor units like the dwarves, in a pretty large area. So now the Empire Knights have charged in. I'm going to be bringing in my swordsmen using Plague of Rust on 2, I believe. No, it just looks like 1 at this point. Plague of Rust. And now I'm going to be using Gehenna's Golden Hounds, and it's a directional vortex spell now, but it does have a slight randomness component here, and as you can see, the hounds are going to be clawing through my own men. I just slaughtered a unit of swordsmen there. Dealt quite a bit of damage to the dwarf warriors and great weapons as well, but at the end of the day, my swordsmen just got hammered. Now I'm going to be using Empire Knights to charge into this lonely Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. Swordsmen still going to attack the Dwarf Warriors. My Thunders have taken plenty of damage from the Quarrelers, and 2 of them have routed. Now I'm going to be bringing in my Great Swords. The Great Swords over here are going to be charging against Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. He's going to be using his miners with blasting charges to drop some bombs onto the Great Swords here, but that's going to deal a lot of damage there. But I've got bombs of my own that I'll be bringing in soon with my Light Wizard over there. Should be able to drop piercing bolts of burning. There we go. And you think you can drop bombs, dwarves? I can drop fucking bombs from the sky. Piercing bolts of burning, dropping in. It isn't. It wasn't overcast, but it still deals a large area of effect damage, and it kills a lot of the dwarf warriors with great weapons. Kills off the main line first. Chicken cats charged into dwarf warriors with great weapons, and now they're forced to pull back because the miners with blasting charges just dropped a couple of bombs there. Great sword's going to eat through the quarrelers and then get into the miners with blasting charges. Although it almost looks, oh, they've got an attack order onto the dwarf warriors with great weapons. Now the chicken cat's going to come in for another charge. It looks like they're going to be charging into the quarrelers here, and they're going to be dealing so much damage, almost summarily kill off the quarrelers and then get into the grudge throwers as well. Balthazar Gelt with cascading fire cloak dropped by the light wizard, going to recharge the quarrelers who've been dealing a lot of damage here, and my great swords already don't have, I mean, they have 0 shields, so the quarrelers will deal a lot of damage unless I'm careful. The chicken cats slaughtered the quarrelers, but now the slayers, the solitary unit of slayers, is destroying the chicken cats quite quickly. 2 kills already, 3 kills with the slayers, and they're going to be chasing them off, so I'm going to be pulling back with my demigryph knights. The great swords killing off the quarrelers, but now grudge bearer is going to come in and what he just, wow, okay, that's the weirdest axe weapon, especially in Blood and Gore. Look at that, one chop and he just slaughters like 4 great swords. Anyways, the bright wizard going to engage against grudge bearer, and meanwhile the slayer is going to take plenty of damage from the thunderers. They have 0 armor to protect them, and the thunderers are just going to slaughter them off. And the great swords as well are going to do very well. The Empire Knights have taken plenty of damage. They've gotten 41 kills, but now they're engaged against the Ironbreakers. The Ironbreakers, another unit that's been buffed in the dwarves. They've got much, if you can see their missile damage now, it's got a lot more AP. 48 explosive armor piercing damage, so they can deal a lot of damage. I've tested them against the Chosen. They do so well against all of them. The Chosen with great weapons do beat them out, but they are, I believe, 100 talents more expensive, or 100 gold more expensive, so that kind of makes sense. The Thunderers have done plenty of damage. Balthazar getting into the cannon here, and the cannons as well have done plenty of damage. So he's managed to hold on to his artillery for a long enough time, and the dwarf chariot, I guess, the dwarf man chariot, just plowing through the great swords. They've dealt a lot of damage in terms of numbers, but they've killed off a lot of dwarf warriors' great weapons. They have no answer to Thorgrim Grudgebearer. The Thunderers turned around and they're destroying the Gyrocopters, which are now shooting steam, wisps of steam onto the Thunderers. Onto the handgunners. Sorry. But yeah, the Gyrocopter wasn't able to be utilized at all. Wasn't able to have been utilized, I guess that's the better way to put it. Great swords here getting destroyed, lots of bombs being dropped. The slayers finally destroyed, but the Ironbreakers now, even though they have Plague of Rust on them, oh my god, the Demigryph Knights just lost like 5 units there from that charge. And of course the Ironbreakers have charge defense, so they will take a really long time before they get destroyed. And I don't really have any units to counter them at this point. I have Balthazar Gelt trying to engage against the Thunderers, but the Thunderers are such a fucking nuisance because they take so much time to die, even in melee. So now my handgunner is going to shoot at Thorgrim Grudgebearer. He's done plenty of damage, of course, already. I'm going to be dropping some sort of hex. Oh, Plague of Rust dropped, so that reduces his armor to a measly 105, but it still should make it easier for my Thunderers to just try and kill him off. It's getting pretty close here, but Balthazar Gelt is in a better position than Thorgrim Grudgebearer, but on the other hand, he's got just so many more units left compared to me. Swordsman now routing, handgunners wavering. Thorgrim Grudgebearer has got more than enough health to withstand all of this. My light wizard is now trying to charge into the Thunderers, who are instead just turning around and destroying my chicken cats. My poor chicken cats have gotten only 110 kills, not even a solitary experience chevron for them. And meanwhile, the Thunderers have gotten a double XP chevron. Very well played with these units. It's tough to micromanage the units, especially when they're as slow moving as the Thunderers or as any other dwarf unit. Their Demigryph Knights destroyed. Gyrocopters have come back. The other Demigryph Knight hasn't been able to do anything, I believe, and it looks like it's going to be a dwarf victory. So I think the next 2 or 3 matches that I'm going to be bringing you are also going to be me fighting against the dwarfs, whether it's against Ciruello or Gojira. It's going to be me trying to fight up against the dwarfs, either with Warriors of Chaos or Empire or even the Greenskins. All of them fun battles, and they will try and showcase to you guys how the dwarfs, how either A, the dwarfs are much better, or B, that I continue to suck. Possibly, most likely, a combination of the two. Bright Wizard here hasn't been able to get much in the way of kills in melee. He's going to drop Firebolt there, try and hit Thorgrim Grudgebearer, but it's not going to do enough, not going to deal enough damage. Cannons firing off into the distance, trying to hit some of the handgunners. One of my greatswords have come back, but just too many units left, and it's going to be lights out for the Empire. 118 kills with that Demigryph Knights. It's back with two I believe two chicken cats, but it's going to be way too little. An entire unit of Thunderers remains with 5 volleys of ammunition left. Ironbreakers have gotten so many kills. And we have a Dwarf Warrior with great weapons, Grudge Thrower, we've got a cannon, so there's just absolutely no way I can win this. Valiant defeat, but very well played to Cirvello. You can see, oh my god, I got 0 kills with one of my Demigryph Knights. What am I even doing? I think they probably just got slaughtered by either the Thunders or B, the cannon. Fucking hell, that was terrible. Great Swords did decently for the most part. The swordsmen didn't manage to do much, but they aren't expected to do much. Handgunners did a decent job in getting a lot of HP damage on Thorgrim Grudgebearer, but at the end of the day, it was the Ironbreakers and the Thunderers who managed to win this battle pretty easily, I must say, for Cirvello. Really should have used that Demigryph Knights better. God damn it. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this battle and stay tuned for more. Peace.